Hi everyone, welcome to another episode by Poor Man Gamer. A lot of you guys have asked me what I think about the new meta. The reason why I hesitated to post the video right away was because I actually wanted to try to play the new meta, give it different combinations, see what works, what doesn't, before I published a video. A lot of people just go through the patch notes and read about what went up, what went down. While that could be very good for someone to hear, the reality is that it's just a guy reading off a sheet. What I want to do is actually demonstrate to you whether the new meta, so to say, has really made a big difference. So for those of you who don't know what meta means that decks that are most common, that are most efficient, that works based on the ways that all the units are balanced right now and the way they're created. So I originally played quite a few games using GDI, and I also played quite a few games using Nod, but for whatever reason I wasn't able to watch the replays, and so I had to do it all over again. So for that I apologize. So here's what I really think about the new meta, and I'm gonna talk as I show you guys matches and what it really looks like. I think that the tank nerf has worked to a certain extent, where now you just can't win by spamming tanks. I already made that mistake. You can't win by spamming tanks anymore. At the same time, I actually believe that this new balance is a really good thing, because it's finally made air units viable, and now instead of spamming one unit, having versatility and being able to adjust to what the opponent is doing is more important than ever. I still believe that Tech Lab units don't really have a place, because you could totally beat the opponent without it. I still believe that too many of them are either too expensive or they're too specialized in one thing, and it doesn't really help. So I'm going to show you guys off 3 matches I played with GDI. Third match I lost because it was against a very high level opponent. I didn't play as well as I could have, right? And that's the truth, I didn't. So this is the deck: Missile Squad, Shockwave, Pitbull, Pred Tanks, the Talon, which counters air pretty well, and a combination of either Mohawks or Orcas, or really the sixth one doesn't really matter, to be honest with you. Hammerhead's probably the way to go. I just wanted to try the Mohawk to see if it would be efficient or not. So as you can see right now, a lot of people are rolling up air units. The guy just rolled out a Venom, right? And the Venoms one-on-one against a Missile Squad, the Venoms actually win every time, right? Even if the Missile Squad has first fire advantage. I've tried this before. So that's just the way it is, right? And it's all good. So you just gotta now understand the balance on the games. And so I'm gonna slow things down here a little bit. So Mohawks, because I only have them at level 8 and it's not even maxed out all the way, it doesn't hold a candle against these level 9 or 10 units. However, Mohawks at the same level as a Pitbull, Mohawk wins every time, if the Mohawk is stationary. And Mohawks against bikes, Mohawk wins every single time. So now with the new meta, what it's really doing, right, is forcing you to adjust your gameplay. At the top there, I'm body blocking him, keep him off the tile. And at the bottom, I'm using my Missile Squad to crush him, right? I'm just really playing my matchups there, right? As you can see, I leave that bike with 1 health and he runs away. I don't know why he did. And I finally get a chance to roll out my Pred Tank. All these Venoms are not really that big of a deterrent to me. Venoms at high levels actually do quite a bit of surprising damage against vehicles. And it is something I am hoping that they nerf and fix, because I feel that Venoms actually do just a little bit too much. I placed an opponent where they had level 13 Venoms against my level 10 and a half, almost level 11 Pitbulls, and the Venom just crushed it. Right, and I think they just do a little bit too much damage against vehicles. So hopefully in the next patch they'll fix that. But anyways, you can see here the Predator tank. I just don't roll it out as early as I used to, but it's still an incredibly viable unit. Every time he rolls out a Venom, I counter with vehicles. Every time I see vehicles, I counter with missile squads, right? And it's finally made infantry a little more than just beginning units, right? Same principles apply in this new meta, which is you still gotta pressure the enemy harvester like I did there, right? You still have to try to keep the heat on them. Whenever you see bikes now, I have noticed that you can't just spam tanks, because they fire too slow and they only blow up 1 unit at a time. This is a comment I have made before, where if you see a whole bunch of bikes like you see here, because tanks fire so slow, they pack such a heavy punch, but it's only 1 punch, and then they take forever to take a second punch, right? The smart thing to do is to mix up the Predator tanks with your Pitbulls. so then that way you can do a little bit more damage. So I'm going to go back to full speed here. There's just a lot of information to process. As you can see here, by him spamming bikes, it's actually really efficient way of countering my pred tanks. And because pred tanks cost that 10 extra Tiberium, it could be a deterrent in the beginning of the game. Right now, at this stage of the game, because I already blew up 2 harvesters, it makes no difference to me. But you're going to see how much more effective it is when I have a Pitbull here, packing on that little extra punch with my bike, against those bikes with my Predator tank. You're going to see how much more quickly that I just rip them apart, right? So now I'm standing on 2 tiles, he's standing on 1. He really doesn't really stand a chance against me at this stage of the game, right? And I keep a lot of pressure on him, and I beat him. The opponent was not as strong as I was in terms of his deck, so this is a game I should have won. But as you can see here in the beginning, it gets a little more fun, right? So it's no longer massive pred tanks. I'll show you guys another match here with my GDI. As you can see here, all level 11s totally maxed out. The only thing I have level 11 is my pred tank, which I have not leveled up at all. And I have a level 8 Mohawk, which actually just sat in the back and didn't do anything this whole game. Very unfortunate. I wish I had more credits. I have a massive credit crunch right now. So if you guys want to donate money to me so I can go ahead and spend on this game, I'm more than happy to do so. When I say free to play, I meant it's free for me. But if you want to donate to me to see what it's like to have a very high level deck, more than happy to do so. Alright? Or alternatively, hit the subscribe button and maybe I can make some YouTube money so I can spend on this game. Alright, cool. So here at GDI, I roll out 2 missile squads. And out comes a Nod buggy. Right? I didn't know what he was going to have. But out comes a Nod buggy, not overly concerned. I gotta go up, guarantee you he's gonna roll out a chem buggy, right? That's what a lot of Nod people do. I didn't even know he had a chem buggy. I knew he was gonna do a Nod buggy. So I go ahead and I already open my war factory in anticipation of a chem buggy. Chem buggies have become so much more commonplace because I have found that infantry now is also more viable. And so a lot of people immediately counter with a chem buggy. Chem buggy's best counter against them I found on the GDI side is a Pitbull because you can fire on the move and you can crush him very quickly. Rather than pressuring his chem buggy even more, I actually go ahead and just do some chip damage on his harvester. The logic behind it is I draw his tanks away from the bottom tile so I can roll out my missile squads and do extra damage against him. Look at that. The missile squad just absolutely punches holes in his tank, right? And I only have basic level 10. Imagine if I had level 11s. I would crush him. Out comes his chem buggy. Not too concerned because this missile is almost done. I'm on 3 tiles, he's on 2. I'm gonna get this missile. Boom! Right? And again, I mix my missile squads now with my tanks as opposed to continuously spamming tanks. I mean, just look how much damage that my my laser squads are able to do. So this is why I mix it up. If I see a chem buggy, I have my pred tank to punch a hole in him, right? And then now I pro back my pred tank. I let my missile squad do the work. He's got a chem buggy again, right? My pred tank and my missile squad's gonna make pretty quick work of him. I'm just trying to mix up the units, and as you can see here, he's got 0 Tiberium, whereas me, I'm slowly building a little piggy bank, right? So I've got some economic advantage against him right now. Again, out comes a Nod buggy, but this is where a pred tank is good. It's again these single units, right? You see that there's only 1 of them. Pred tanks are great against units that don't roll out in a pack because they do such a punch. I'll go ahead and roll out my Mohawk and it doesn't do anything. It does so little damage. It's actually pitiful, right? And it's basically a glass cannon at this stage. But it's a very strong unit if you can level it up, and I'm really hoping I can do so. So as you can see here, you can't spam pred tanks anymore to win. You could if you have high level pred tanks. But you can see that the mixture of units here is really what's going to help you while keeping that missile going. That's exactly what I do. A mixture of units, missiles, and pred tanks. And this is the new meta. So don't ever believe that tanks are no longer valid. That is not true at all. Tanks are super valid. If you've gotten this far in the video, guys, keep watching. I'm going to show you the Nod and how they work right after this matchup. So here I'm up against a guy where it's a challenge match. To be honest with you, I actually had a legit shot at winning this. I did not micro-manage my units as well as I should have. He out-microed me. He outplayed me. Plain and simple. The level matchups did help, right? But no excuse. I should have had him. The problem with level 12 bases is I can't punch a hole through their stupid harvesters. They take forever to die, right? So I roll out, I scout, and I'm just gonna double speed this, right? I do see that he's got a missile squad. I could have rolled out a Talon, but for now I'm just going to roll out my Shockwave troops, and out comes his Talons, naturally, so I have to run away in my Shockwave. Level 12 Talons are really, really strong. I do not engage him right away because I do not have any matchup advantage, and so I wait for a 2-on-1. So I go ahead, yada yada yada, I'm waiting for a 2-on-1, right? I don't know why I put my Talon there. I don't know why he ran away. A Talon always crushes the missile squads when they're the same level. If he's got level 12 and I only got level 10, he'd win even more. See, this is the matchup I'm talking about. If I had the same level as him in terms of the Talons, I would have crushed those missile squads, but I don't. And finally, out comes a Shockwave. He deploys his Lieutenant Strongarm really, really well. This map especially works really well with the Lieutenant Strongarm because you can really open it up in a lot of sweet spots. I roll up my Pitbull on the top. I should have moved my laser squads a little bit faster. I didn't, and out comes this Orca Bomber. I mean, a level 11 Orca Bomber is pretty strong, right? They're really, really hard to defend against. And so I lose this first missile. Legitimately, bad start on my part, but what more can I do? I go ahead and use my Talon and try to pressure him. I'm trying my best not to lose my Pitbull, but as you can see, the Pitbull is not as what it once was. It does die a lot faster, and it does take a lot to knock out an Orca. And the other thing I wish is the Lieutenant Strongarm would not be as strong against vehicles. For a weapon that's only 40 Talon, Tiberiums, sorry, the Lieutenant Strongarm I actually think is a bit OP in terms of the damage it does against vehicles. So this is what I mean. I love pressuring the enemy Harvester. I've seen how many units he's rolled out, and it just takes me so freaking long to kill a Harvester. Like, so many shots, right? And so that Lieutenant Strongarm is also preventing me from helping out my tank. And so now he's able to roll out some APCs, and this is where I start getting myself in a little bit of trouble. APCs level 12 is very, very hard to dislodge once they get into place. Fortunately, I have the matchup advantage here, right? I roll my Pred tank down, and I'm trying my best to play the matchup properly. And we'll speed it up a little bit. I stack with my Pred tank, or I try to anyway. Should have moved my Talon out of the way. There you go. Clean up that mess on the bottom. I go ahead and knock out his Pitbull there out of the way. I try to body block him. I set my Talon up, and I'm trying my best to punch through his APC. They have so much health, right? They really do. I finally have the economy to roll out a Pitbull. I am trying my best to win this matchup. I am on 2 tiles, and finally I'm able to punch through. So once again, I have to try to put pressure on him. He smartly rolls out a whole bunch of missile squads. And so, again, the new meta means being flexible. If I just kept spamming tanks like the good old days, the tanks would have been enough, right, to crush him. But now I actually have to send out Shockwave troops. I don't want to overcommit on my Shockwave troops. I should have moved my Pred tank to the top when I had the chance. It was a little too slow, a little too late. Right, and out comes another freaking APC. And like I said, those things are very, very hard to dislodge once they're in place. So I moved my Shockwave there because I need to take out that missile squad. I'm trying to avoid his Lieutenant Strongarm. I don't really want to punch him one-on-one. I can't win that fight. So out comes his Pred tank. Again, his APC, sorry. I am able to knock out his so again, look at the Talon with all that freaking health, right? My Pitbull just takes so long to knock him out. So, and they cost about the same too. So I think the Pitbulls are actually a little bit cheaper. So I try my best to knock him out. I should have pumped out units a little faster. I obviously have a huge economic advantage. I also should have used my Harvester to hold that 3rd tile. Mistake on my part. Too little, too late. I forgot how quickly that 3rd missile goes by, and he's able to win this. So I had a legitimate chance to beat this guy, but I didn't, because he outplayed me there, and he timed the missiles better than I did. So well played, Dragnet. Hope I play you again sometime soon. Now we're going to switch over to Nod, and I'm going to show you guys here why I believe speed is still the name of the game. So we essentially have identical decks, except his is a little bit stronger than mine, and using Cyber Wheels, which, in my opinion, are pretty trash. I don't think Cyber Wheels are a great unit, because they don't really hold a candle against even the most basic infantry, right? So to me, they're even more worthless than War Dog, because they can't hold tiles, because they're not very strong. So I'll show you what I mean. Out comes my Laser Squad against his level 10 Cyber Wheels. Watch this. The Laser Squad, even 2-on-1, like bang, 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 he had first fire advantage. I knock him off fairly quickly. Right, look at this. I don't care that he can spam more, right? And I don't really care that my troops are dying, to be honest with you. I am purposely leaving his weak units alive, right? There's a rhyme and reason to all of this, folks. Is so I can save up for a bike, which will do even better against his stupid Cyber Wheels. And it really crushes it very, very well. So bang, there goes the cyber wheels, right? 1, 2, 3. I'm just cleaning up the mess on the bottom so I can engage his bike. I'm letting his cyber wheel live because it's not really going to do much against me. And I go ahead and I try my best to pressure his harvester, and now I'm able to roll out a tank. Right? Tanks are still great, don't get me wrong. Tanks are still absolutely beautiful units. Right? It's just you can't over spam them like you used to. I go ahead and move my tank down because flame squads don't do much damage against my tanks. And I also roll out a Venom. Level 9 Venom, in retrospect, bad idea, right? Which is why I immediately pull my Venom back. It's really to knock out his flame squads without taking on any damage, which is why I roll my Venom there. I try to roll up my flame squads to the right place to engage his missile squads. I move my Venom to the bottom. I move my tank to the bottom because I know that his bike is going to be sent down there. I charge up my Venom to knock out his bike even faster because it's on level 9. I do see he's got another cyber wheel. Not overly concerned because I have a tank coming to reinforce it. Right, I send both tanks up. Bang, 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 bang. Right, I try to send my flame troop down to the bottom. I see his Banshees. Banshees still take a little bit. They nerfed it so it's not as strong against vehicles anymore, which I really appreciate. Right, and now I'm able to roll out a bike. It's a very, very closely contested missile. Fortunately, took out his missile squad, and I'm on all 3 tiles. He's not, and I get this missile. Even if I win by an inch, it doesn't matter. A win's a win, right? Out comes my laser squads, and I forgot I had phantoms, which is why I didn't roll it out until now. There it is. Whoops. So watch this. Wheel. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Idiot, what are you doing? Pew, pew. My bad. Right? Bad micro there. I was trying to select something else. Pew pew! Goodbye, Banshees. And so there's those laser squads again. New meta, even with Nod, speed is still the name of the game. The only difference now is adaptability. Stop spamming one units, be flexible, and roll out all sorts of different units, right? This is why I think Tech Lab units are still not that viable, because most units are only good at one thing. Right, you need units that are versatile right now, right? Versatility is the name of the game. So I do see his flame squad. I go ahead and send my tank up there to help hold that tile, right? He blows up my harvester, but I have such a massive economy right now. It doesn't really matter. Watch this. Here comes a Banshee, and pew pew! See ya! So on 2 tiles, he's on 1. I roll up my tank to clean up the mess on the bottom, right? My Venom is still doing great work. And I body block him. I think at this stage of the game, he's probably just a little bit flustered because I was able to send out units to counter him every time. And right, down goes his base. So much fun. So much fun. Right? So I believe this new meta has made the game more fun and more challenging. You can't just keep spamming one units anymore. You guys are probably really tired watching this video now, so I'm going to go ahead and skip to the last opponent. Over here, because the second opponent, he tried to bike rush me, it didn't work, and he rage quit. Not much to see. So, you know, it happens. We're going to go ahead and watch this final match, and I want to try to specifically break down again how the new meta to me doesn't really matter. On this specific map, I immediately open with a harvester, because the harvester is far away from the Tiberium fields, and I open with a laser squad. The reason I open with the laser squad is because if he rushes me with the jump jet troops, and they're not as strong as they used to be anymore, which is why I'm not worried, I still have time to counter my flame squads. So that's the logic behind it, okay? So again, War Dogs against laser squads. New meta, laser squads and missile troops are absolutely vital. Unless you have really, really strong vehicle units like War Factory units or air units or something, I believe because of their versatility to counter air, how much damage they do against vehicle units, War Factory units, right? I believe laser squads and missile troops are absolutely vital. So I'm using my laser squads really just to buy myself time and build up more of an economy. I engage him with my bikes, right? I am going to be able to take him out pretty quickly. I know that if I have an economy, he's got an economy. His mistake here is rolling a Pitbull. I don't know if you saw that. Try your best to not move your bike if you see an opponent coming, so that your bike can get the shot off, because it takes a little bit of time to set up and turn. So here I go ahead and use my my Scorpion tank, knock out his Pitbull. So there's a rhyme and reason again to everything that you need to do here. I roll back my Scorpion tank and I do not engage his Pred tank because that's just stupid, right? Pred tanks have a lot of health and they're a little bit stronger. Watch what I do here. I roll up my laser squad and I go ahead and I use my tank and I reinforce the bottom. and I make sure that I take care of his war dogs first, right? Nice and quick. Bang, 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 bang. Down goes his war dogs, right? I'm okay with the pit bull attacking me, so a quick swap here. I go ahead and block him off entirely, right? I have to send my tank to the top to reinforce and win this missile. I charge it up. I charge it up to the bottom now. I stack it on top of my bottom tank, and I add another punch to his pit bull. Bang, bang, bang. Now I move up my laser squad. I'm gonna engage. I use my laser squad to engage his pred tank first, and then I am gonna move my tanks up behind them to attack. So watch, you see that? Laser squad engaged. Tanks move up now, right? So that his tank is aiming at the wrong thing, and now my tanks just got off 2 free shots against his predator tanks before he got 1 shot off, and my laser squad is gonna do a ton of damage against him. The name of the game is still flexibility. I still find jump jet troops to be absolutely irritating, right? Because they're so quick and they're so strong. My flame squad, I meant to move it earlier. Bad micro. I pressure his harvester, right? I was like, come on! Bam! My laser squad got him, right? Again, power of the laser squad, guys. So make sure you have it in your deck. My flame troop's gonna make quick work of him. I send my laser squad there, not intent on killing anything. It's just to tile block him. Out comes a Talon. Not a bad idea, but a little too weak. I go ahead and roll my Scorpion tank to the top in case he rolls out another Harvester. And out comes Mr. Pew Pew. So ready? Pew Pew! I love the Phantom, guys. The Phantom is so strong. Here, missile's not done yet. I do a quick swap. I send my Phantom to the top, tank to the bottom, flame squad to the other tile. Right, I got 2 of them. He's got 1 of them. No way he's gonna get this one, and we got ourselves a win. So folks, if you're wondering about the new meta, I hope this video answers a lot of your questions, right? It's practical decks for free-to-play players where every unit is entirely accessible and there's nothing here that is an epic card, right? Look at my GDI deck here. Laser Squad, Flame Troop, bikes, tanks, everything is just common or common units. Again, same thing on this side. I would highly suggest using a hammerhead instead of a stupid mohawk that's low level. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope this really answers your questions about the new meta. Thank you so much, guys, and as always, please subscribe. Have a wonderful day. Cheers.